Hi, what's happening, y'all? It's your boy Rico from Street Scores, and I have some little bit of negative news. We'll see. Y'all are gonna see the footage from Kam Curl's pre-workout before this matchup against the 49ers, which I will be streaming at 4 p.m. But we also have some great news. I want to talk about Jahan Dotson being named Offensive Rookie of the Year for the second time this season, even after he's missed over a month of football, and why he deserves to be, at least have a good case to be Offensive Rookie of the Year, especially if we're talking about efficiency and on a per game basis. Have some advanced stats to show y'all as well. Then I also have a bunch of really just random news that I'm gonna update y'all on, random stats, random information towards the end of the video. But before we dive into all of that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell next to the subscription button so you get notification immediately. And every time I release an informative and opinionated video just like this one. Remember, for the Commanders to make the playoffs, we need to be rooting for the Lions to lose against Carolina. We need to be rooting for the Seahawks to lose to the Chiefs. Right now, we're currently the 7th seed. As long as those two teams keep losing, we'll be straight. We should be able to make the playoffs. So we got to root for those teams to lose. We got to root for the Commanders to win against the 49ers, of course. And like I said, I will be live streaming during that game, live play-by-play analysis like I do every game that the Commanders play, including the postseason, because I'm speaking it into existence. And without further ado, let's get it. All right, so Kam Curl right now, first of all, Kam yesterday said that Kam Curl did not make the trip to San Francisco at first, and he'll be a true game time decision. So he didn't go with the rest of the team. He came a little bit later. He's there now, and like I said, he's doing a pre-game workout. You can look at the clip for yourself right now and let me know how you feel. So I mean, it's ugly, man. I'm not gonna lie. Not having Kam Curl is gonna kind of suck if he isn't able to play, and him not being 100%, even if he is out there, is gonna hurt us as well. But luckily we have Derek Forrest to step up and take over some of what Kam Curl does. But Derek Forrest definitely prefers to be deeper on the back end, more of a free safety, while Kam Curl prefers to be around the line of scrimmage, or at least Jack DeRio prefers him to be around the line of scrimmage and making a lot of plays in the run game, stepping up to make tackles on quarterbacks to try to scramble, things like that. So man, it's going to be tough without Kam Curl. We saw how bad our defense was when Kam Curl had to miss the first few games of the season, and when he finally returned, it looked like our defense went to another level. Now, granted, a lot of other guys have gotten better since then, and we will be getting Chase Young back as well, which is also positive news, even though he's going to be on pitch count. But not having Kam Curl could be a huge loss for us. But at the same time, we're finally getting Benjamin St-Juste back for the first time. He's missed 3 games. It feels like we haven't had him in forever, man. I mean, there were some games, even though a lot of the games we've been losing has been more so because of teams running the ball on us, except for that first Giants game where we tied. Having Benjamin St-Juste instead of Christian Holmes, we probably win that game. And this whole playoff picture is completely different. So I'm happy to have Benjamin St-Juste back. Again, another run-heavy team, and Deebo Samuel is out against us. So having Benjamin St-Juste helps a lot, but I feel like the loss of Kam Curl is going to negatively affect us more than the positive effect of having Benjamin St-Juste back. But hopefully I'm wrong. I'm hoping Benjamin St-Juste steps up big time and makes some crazy plays against Brock Purdy and makes some game-changing, playoff destiny type of changing plays. Now on to even more positive news, because the bad news, kind of bad news, is Kam Curl. Some positive news, Benjamin St-Juste coming back. Of course, as many of y'all know, through Pepsi, the NFL announced that Jahan Dotson is the Zero Sugar Rookie of the Week. This is his second time doing it. He gets a belt for it and everything. So now he has 2 belts. Again, this is the second time Jahan Dotson has won Rookie of the Week this season. The first time came in week 1 when Dotson caught 3 balls for 40 yards and 2 touchdowns, including the game winner against the Jaguars. And he did that against my Georgia Bulldog, Tyson Campbell. Still got a little PTSD from that as far as being a Georgia Bulldog fan, but I love it for Jahan Dotson. Absolutely love that week 1 game. And as far as his week 15 game against the Giants as to why he won Rookie of the Year, he had 4 catches, 105 yards, led our entire team in receiving yards easily, led the entire day in receiving yards, had the most receiving yards out of any wide receiver, tight end, running back, whoever in that week 15 loss against the Giants. He also had 1 touchdown. He had 20.5 PPR points. He had 6 targets, which tied for the team lead. He had a 20.6% target share. He played 79.3% of snaps and had 88.2% of routes run. And just to put it in perspective for the year, 6 of his 23 catches so far this year have gone for touchdowns. He has 6 touchdowns in 9 games, and he's averaged almost 40 yards a game as a wide receiver 3 technically. I mean, that's an amazing first round pick right there, man. And if you just look at his game log, remember the last game he played was October 2nd against Dallas. Then he was out all the way until November 14th against Philly. Missed over a month of football. And then when he came back, you know, him and Taylor Heinicke didn't have much chemistry. Remember, Taylor Heinicke was not the starter quarterback during training camp and things like that, so he didn't get a lot of passes thrown to Jahan Dotson. That's why Carson Wentz had crazy chemistry with Jahan, and that's why he took off immediately as soon as the season started, because Terry McLaurin was, you know, holding out for his contract. So Carson Wentz was always throwing to Jahan Dotson as his #1 target basically throughout the offseason. And so that's why Jahan Dotson to start the year had 2 touchdowns against Jacksonville, 1 against Detroit, then didn't have 1 against Philly. That was just a terrible game, period. I think that was the game with like 9 sacks, so nobody had time to even catch the ball. And then against Dallas, he also had a touchdown. Remember, at a certain point after the first 4 weeks of the NFL, Jahan Dotson and Stephon Diggs were leading the NFL in receiving touchdowns. Like literally just them 2 alone. Everybody else had 3 or less. That's including all of the top receivers: Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Travis Kelce, all of those guys. It was Stephon Diggs and Jahan Dotson leading the NFL in receiving yards, and then everybody else below that. Then of course Jahan Dotson missed over a month of football, and then even after he came back, took a while for Taylor Heinicke to figure out how to throw him the ball. Took Scott Turner a while to figure out how to get him the ball, and I also believe he wasn't necessarily 100%. Now he's clearly 100%. Against the Giants, the first time where we tied them, he had 5 receptions for 54 yards and a touchdown, and then again this most recent game, 4 receptions for 105 yards with that crazy contested deep ball catch and a touchdown. Y'all gotta stop playing with Jahan, man. Him and Brian Robinson are looking like steals in the first and third round, I'm not gonna lie. Now let's move on to the very, very random news. First of all, through 60 career games in franchise history for the Commanders, Terry McLaurin is 2nd in receiving yards with 4,105, 2nd in receptions with 290, tied for 6th in touchdowns with 19, and I blame the quarterbacks, not him, for that. Tied for 1st in 100-yard games with 14. 1st in 60-plus yard games, 35, and 1st in multi-reception games with 58. So Terry McLaurin is already breaking franchise records and definitely on pace to break more. Also, random, Washington is sending their most total players to the Pro Bowl since 2016. Also, just to compare some stats, speaking of Pro Bowl, I mean, the fact that Daron Payne didn't make it, and I know Aaron Donald is Aaron Donald, but Aaron Donald has 27 solo tackles to Daron Payne's 23, but Daron Payne has 8.5 sacks to Aaron Donald's 5. Now, granted, Aaron Donald does see more double teams, but still, it's just crazy that one guy made it and then the other guy's an alternate. I mean, I just feel like you can maybe kick some, not take Aaron Donald out, but kick somebody else out for Daron Payne. So Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne could have both been starters, and then you have somebody else as an alternate. I mean, and then also going to Montez Sweat. Pro Football Focus tweeted out defenders with both 80-plus pass rush and run defense grade this season. You got to have both. Only Dexter Lawrence, Nick Bosa, Quinnen Williams, Max Crosby, Josh Sweat, and Montez Sweat have those. Also, speaking of Pro Bowl as well, Jeremy Reeves' story is crazy. High school broken back threatens football future. 2018 undrafted free agent. 2020 interception in playoff clinching final game when a lot of people wanted Ron Rivera to sign Eric Reed. 2021 plays through loss of mom, and then 2022 alternate captain and now Pro Bowl starter. starter. And then he's been all over SportsCenter, ESPN. I love how viral he's been going on Twitter at times. I love it for him so much. His video with him learning that he made the Pro Bowl and the way Tress Way, that video got me. I'm not gonna lie. If you haven't seen that video, definitely go check it out. And then also in very random news, the Commanders' strength of schedule for the remainder of this season for the final 3 games, including this 49ers game, then the Browns game, then the Cowboys game, is ranked 3rd according to Power Rankings Guru. We have the 3rd most difficult schedule, only behind the Patriots and the Bengals. And then as far as teams we're competing against to make into the playoffs with, the Cowboys, even though they're probably out of reach for us, are 7th. The Giants are 10th. The Seahawks are 14th. And then the Detroit Lions aren't even in the top 29. So it's looking a little ugly for us, but you just got to go out there and win those games because, again, we are the 17th seed. Just win those games and you're in. It's plain and simple. You don't even have to worry about what the Lions or the Seahawks are doing. And then also the Commanders announced a couple of days ago that Chase Young will make his season debut on Saturday against the 49ers. And he already has 2 comeback videos up, one from the NFL and another one sponsored by Chipotle. So there's a lot of hype about Chase Young's return, but again, you got to remember, be patient. Have high hopes for him, but not high expectations. He's going to be on pitch count, but who knows, maybe on those limited snaps that explosion shows, and maybe he can somehow beat Trent Williams and get a strip sack on Brock Purdy and send the 49ers spiraling out of control, and maybe we can get a win off of it. But yeah, man, that's the end of this video. I just wanted to give y'all those quick updates. Please leave a like on this video if you liked it. If you learned anything, let me know how you feel about everything discussed in this video. Jahan Dotson, Offensive Rookie of the Week again for the 2nd time. Let me know how you feel about his chances of winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. Don't forget to throw Brian Robinson in that conversation as well. And then also let me know how you feel about Kam Curl's injury and Benjamin St-Juste returning. Do you feel like that net's positive or net's negative? And of course, man, I appreciate all the support, man. Shouts out to all of my sponsors, especially my Pro Bowl sponsors, whose name you see scrolling on the screen right now. I'm gonna catch y'all later. I'm out.